What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 34 of the Halo Outreach Podcast, the podcast that keeps you up to date with everything going on in the Halo community. I'm joined here by, as always, as with my lovely co-host, Patman Gaming. Why don't you say hola?
Hola, ¿qué pasa, amigos?
Awesome. And so today we're going to give you some goodies when it comes to topics and information, because that's what we do on this channel, man. That's what we're doing here. We're going to be talking about Halo 2 Anniversary Dev Update. Goodness, that came around. Looks like we just got to Ring 1. When it comes to the flying process, will be coming around pretty soon. We have a brand new Grassroots partner that just joined like the hours before making this video or this podcast. So that's going to be awesome. Spoiler alert.
It's not me or Kevin.
And also we're going to be talking about, we're also planning to do a little collaborative video with a bunch of other Halo podcasters. So they want us to make our own portion about what makes Halo to you. So Pat and I are going to be doing our own things of what we love so much about Halo, what keeps us coming back to this game and franchise. And then, of course, as we always do, we finish out the podcast with MCC playlist updates along with Halo 5 playlist updates. So you know what to do. After listening to this podcast, I'm sure it's going to get you motivated. You're like, dude, I got to grind down some Halo. What do I need to play? Well, we're here for you, man. We got you. That's what we do here. You know, we think about you. You know, beyond the podcast. It's
God.
Anyways, so,
let's get right into the news.
Pat, how has your last week since the last podcast that we did with Blaze, which was an awesome podcast, one of my favorite ones that we did. If you guys haven't had a chance to listen to that one, I highly suggest you do. Episode 33, in-depth look into the Halo 5's development when it comes to the sustained team with Blaze himself, who used to work at 343. Sadly enough, his contract ran out, but had plenty of time to come by and chat with us. So Pat, but yeah. How was your last week? What you been up to? What you been playing? How's the weather?
The weather is actually beautiful today. I mowed the lawn, got some yard work done. You know, big boy stuff, you know, mowing lawns and stuff, you know. Yeah.
Full on adult.
I was in the Grassroots, exactly. So,
but not exactly what you guys.
But not the Grassroots I really wanted to be in. Besides that, pretty big week for Halo for me. Gonna be hard to match our last podcast. Yeah, it was probably my favorite episode. That and our very first episode was awesome because we had John Friend and Jeff Easterling on, so that was dope too. But yeah, I hit 152 in Halo 5 this week, so finally got to delete that game off my hard drive, and I don't have to go back until I want to replay all the campaigns before Infinite. So I am happy to finally open up my gaming catalog again, and I'm going to start dipping into my backlog on stream. So just really excited about that.
Also curious. So when you kind of got back onto the grinding Halo 5, that was like a year ago? It's a year?
About 8 months ago.
8 months ago. And you were like,
when I started streaming 8 months ago, and I was 111.
111.
Yep.
So that's a lot of Halo 5 from then until now.
I wore myself out on that game. I played it too much. Literally would not play anything else but Halo 5, and it was a bad feeling mentally. So I'm glad it's over.
Oh my god. So do you think about this now? Like, I always get questions. Like I have a video on my channel talking about like how to get 152 fast, stuff like that. But I still get questions about like, can I hit 152? I'm this level. Can I hit 152? We're expecting to have Halo Infinite probably coming out November would be my guess. What do you think, if anyone who is like 120 starting now the grind to 152 before Infinite, do you think they could do it without like doing like the Warzone, the quick coring, or you know, do you think that'd be possible?
Depends on how dedicated they want to be. I mean, that's kind of a hard question. How much time are you willing to dedicate per day, per week to Halo 5?
Well, like how many hours do you think a week did you put into it? Like 40?
Yeah, basically a full-time job, 40 if not more. You know, like when I'm working, it's hard. I'd play maybe a couple hours every day after work, but on the weekends I would go hard, like 8-hour sessions at least. So,
I remember you're saying on Twitter you would even like be playing like Halo 5 in bed like your
Yeah.
fiance with your wife, like sleeping, and you're like
X-clouding.
laying on the XCloud, just grinding out
XCloud
XP.
or I got an Xbox in my bedroom too. I you know, either that or I'll just turn on the XCloud and we'll just watch a show together, and I'll just be like, you know, have my eyes down but eyes up at the same time, eyes down, eyes up, eyes down. Oh, that happened in the show. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's real awesome. Yeah, it's a freaking grind. You would have to really
whenever
commit.
you have a chance, you gotta play.
Yeah,
Like even when you don't think you have a chance, you probably have a chance, and you gotta utilize it.
Yeah, and it's getting harder and harder. Honestly, it's
Mm-hmm.
the population keeps dwindling. Search times keep going up, even with the playlist consolidations, it really depends your area of the world, your time of day that you're going to be on. There's so many factors, but if there's a will, there's a way. If I can do it, somebody else can. So yeah, it's kind of a hard question to answer.
Yeah, and especially with it weekly now, we're getting legendary XP boost packs, right?
Yep.
Every Tuesday, I think it is. When you log in,
Every
you get it.
Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, you get legendary XP packs.
It was Wednesday last week for whatever reason. The first time they did it, it was Thursday. Then the next week it was Wednesday. So I'm assuming it's every Wednesday.
So yeah, it's once a week. Hop on, log in at least, get those packs, so you can at least like use it later on when double XP is on a single price. So forget that double XP right now globally for MCC and Halo 5. So now it's time to grind.
During the pandemic.
Grind time. But yeah. And anything else besides 152, you'd say?
Got max tier battle pass on Warzone, so that's cool. But ready for season 3 and maybe
you and Jim been grinding that game.
Yeah, it was double XP on that game. We were flying through the ranks, and I had all these double XP tokens. And I was just stacking on top of it, so I flew through that. And I'm just better than Jim, so I get more XP per game.
I mean, isn't everybody really though? It's about everybody though.
Toxic. So, all right, I'm out. He says. But yeah, nothing else besides that. What about you, Kevin? What's new with you this week?
Just another week working from home. You know, I recently, just because being here in Seattle, it's one of the major cities that's got hit by the virus situation. So this is like my third week now working from home. Really haven't really done much outdoorsy things, especially now the weather's getting back to being Seattle-y, which should be just gray and rain every day. So been doing that a lot. Gave me a lot extra time to make videos. I've been doing a lot more videos on my channel, that's for sure. Other than that, I've been grinding a lot of MCC, trying to get the XP up. I want to set myself up like just to crest over to the next tier of XP and MCC. So when H2A comes out, I'll be at that low end. So I'll be just getting like a bunch of unlocks right away, So at least I'll be able to show a few unlocks, like if I'm making videos or, just able to progress through it faster than like, because, obviously it goes like in tiers of like, because I think I'm at tier 4, which is like the silver sword shield background thing. So the next one's gonna be the gold shield. So I'm trying to get it up right before leveling up to that for H2A, which I'm really close to that. Probably just one good stream of MCC. I'm Halo CE on MC, and then I'll probably be like right there, ready to go. Other than that, I wrote a song, so that's cool.
Nice.
I got a buddy Rap Sky, and I sent him the guitar track, so if we can get the little drum track action going for that. It's kind of like a little pop punk kind of Jimmy Eat World, My Chemical Romance, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus kind of feel to the whole thing on that song. So I think it'd be a fun thing to do because we got time.
Right.
And like I said, making videos, talking about a lot about the Halo 2 anniversary flighting process that's actually happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not for Flight Ring 3, not for us, but for other people.
Right.
So I think we might as well go into that and start talking about a little bit of the details, huh?
Yeah, that sounds
That's
good.
what we call a segue. That's a hell of a segue.
Yeah, that's pretty
good. So yeah, we can go into it right here. I'm going to my desktop mode. Postums posted, get it, on March 27th, talking about that they're almost getting ready to send out a flight for Ring 1 and 2, guys. I did put out a video recently talking about how the flighting process has started on my YouTube channel, and I got a lot of comments like, no, the flighting hasn't actually started. I shouldn't have said that. That's being really rude to people who watch my videos. The flighting process starts from 0 to 3 rings. We're Ring 3, so Ring 1 and 2, even though we don't play it, it's still part of the flighting process.
Right.
Just letting you know.
Right. But technically, they're kind of right, too. Here. Because it's not really starting for them. Okay. That's all they care about. They don't give a damn about it starting.
No, I get the point of view. I understand.
I do. Yeah.
I just know I'm right.
Yeah. Whatever.
But so yeah, looking like this week is going to be the week of Ring 1 and 2. So looking forward to that. If we look at the patterns from last flighting process, Ring 1 and 2 for Halo CE, a week later we had Ring 3. So I'm expecting within a week of right now, we'll be able to play Halo 2 Anniversary on PC. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, they said there's at least one blocking bug right now, blocking it for Ring in Ring 1 and 2. So Postum said tweeted that out as well. So yeah, at least one, but that's not that bad. So yeah, I'd say about a week as well. Great, because I'm off of work. I'll be ready to make some content.
But also they did have to cut some content. You know, they did mention about the age reach audio fixes and some of the CE bullet spread fixes when it comes to unlimited frames. That had to get cut for this flight, understandably, because it's more focusing on just making sure that H2A gets done. So this content for this flight will be Halo 2, Halo 2 Anniversary for Halo 2 and Halo 2 Anniversary for campaign multiplayer and theater mode for H2A.
And no Reach Forge, Theater, Reach Theater and Forge was, mentioned too as maybe coming, but that got pushed back as well. So,
and I'm sure we'll probably see how it goes. Obviously, with the last flight process, that it got extended and more people kind of worked on it a little more, so they might be able to add some content in, or update the game from fixes and see how it, the feedback is from the community and stuff like that. But definitely looking forward to that. They did mention that there's a little different process now when it comes to the emails you'll be receiving here. Actually, we'll go back to the update here. So it says, going forward, we will no longer be sending out emails with all the pertinent information surrounding a flight. So basically, they're testing out a new delivery system. That's what they're also testing in Ring 1 and 2. See how that works out. Looks like they're doing it on Waypoint, it seems like. Maybe will be kind of interesting to see how they do that. I was thinking maybe if they could do it on like the Halo support site, just to kind of get people more...
give them more reason to actually go to that site and report stuff.
And also just be more familiar with the interface and so because they always complain about so many repeat bug reports that they get on that website because people just go like, I have a bug, send it, which is good. You're doing it wrong.
They literally say on the support site and every flight update, and I mention it almost every video, if you see your issue already on the site, do not make another ticket. But, people will be people.
Well, it's because I've gone to the site before, and like the first thing you see is report a bug. And it's just like what they should do is be like known issues, top of the screen right there, or at least right above the report a bug button or something like that, just so that they know. Or
people could just read.
Well, I'm saying like at least have it like on the known issues right above the like report a bug button, just so then if someone's going to click on it, they'll at least see that, at least have the opportunity to see it. Because I actually tried looking up known issues on the site, and it's actually kind of hard to find.
You could literally just search for. There's a big search bar, and you can search for stuff.
I tried that. It was a little confusing for me. All right, I'm not that smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming more and more apparent to me right now. So yeah.
God, toxic. So now you're probably wondering, well, how are we gonna go about doing this whole like invite system since it's not gonna be through emails anymore? Well, Postum's had a reply about that saying PSA will be writing information about how invites and Steam keys will work in the very near future. I realize there's a lot of questions about it, but I have a lot of writing to do in a short period of time. Please be patient, and I will share the details soon. He hasn't shared the details yet as the making of this podcast, but I'm assuming we'll probably know the day or two before the flighting happens.
Yeah,
or
at least by Friday when he does his update blog on MCC development.
True. Yeah, I think it's every Tuesday, right? They upload, or Wednesday. They upload
Wednesday is the MCC playlist update. Fridays are the MCC development blogs.
Exactly. Plenty of content for me to copy and paste.
Exactly. Same.
And as of, Sunday, PSA, Ring 1 flighting has begun for Halo 2 and Halo 2 Anniversary. So they're literally flighting the game right now as we speak. Pretty freaking awesome. Looking forward to that. So I'm assuming at least by next week we'll be playing some Halo 2 on PC. Very excited about that. Mainly because the frame rates in H2A are terrible on the original Xbox. I don't know if you saw my video I uploaded, was it today?
It's a little choppy looking.
Yeah, it gets choppy. And then there's one part where like the game just crashed. It completely crashed my Xbox. It restarted
Jesus.
It just froze.
Yeah, I was trying to record a video with Jim, like gameplay. It's dude, co-op campaign is impossible. Like it is so bad. Like the lag and stuff. So we just went to multiplayer, and did our thing in there and got some gameplay. Yeah. But yeah, it's hard, man. Well, I mean, I can't imagine on the original one, but yeah, I'm excited for it on the PC.
Were you having any issues playing on the Xbox One X?
If I'm playing solo, no. Like solo campaign, flawless, 4K, 60 frames, smooth. But once you start, like I said, if you try to do co-op, the netcode and it's freaking terrible.
Yeah,
which I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to. Issue. Yeah, it's always been an issue.
Campaign.
Yeah, and I don't think that's gonna change with. I mean, it's not like they're changing the netcode for PC, so that I don't see co-op getting any better on there. So it kind of sucks because I'm gonna go for 100% MCC completion next, and doing Lasso alone scares the absolute shit out of me, and I really want to do that co-op, but dealing with Lasso and lag, which maybe that's what the L stands for.
Lasso. Lasso. Yeah.
Or Lasso. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So
sounds like Lysol. Like just clean that space and go Lasso. Hey man, you need it nowadays, right?
That's right.
Disinfect that
99.9% Lasso. All right.
Kills 99% of your brain cells for after trying to do that. People has told me like, do Lasso. I'm like, dude, I struggle enough on just L.
Right. Legendary no skulls on is hard enough for me. Yeah, Lasso's not gonna be fun.
So but yeah, so that's the news going on right now with Halo 2 Anniversary coming to PC. I'm looking forward to it. That's definitely been my main platform for playing that game for sure, because OG Xbox, not the smoothest play, which is weird because that game was released in 2014, a year after the launch of the Xbox One, and it was already pushing the Xbox to the limit. So that's kind of
that game was
the
kind
power of the Xbox One.
Notoriously, bad at launch, so that probably didn't help. And all the engines running at once, and it's just
true.
It's
it was running two engines at the same time.
Yeah,
so you got that going against it. But yeah, I think that's kind of about everything on H2A.
They did mention too.
Oh yeah,
that they are going to be testing out some features that have been unannounced, some completely new features, which. I mean, that could mean new seasonal content, maybe the season 2 content.
That.
Yeah, or maybe new like specific features for PC. Like they did talk about maybe giving you more graphics options and things like that instead of just having like enhanced classic version or performance. Having a little enhanced. So that's cool to look forward to and see. But yeah, it's definitely something we could use during this pandemic. Obviously, 343 is working from home right now. If you guys didn't know, so we talked about it last week. Blaze kind of assured us that it really shouldn't affect the development too much because they have all the tools they really need. But I could see it still presenting maybe a couple of hiccups here and there that being at the studio would be easier. But we'll see, and can't wait to get our hands on it.
Yep. Where'd you see about the features and stuff?
It's right there in the blog post.
Really?
Yes, you do this every time. Really? And then you go back and look at like, my
some
God.
New features players haven't seen just yet. I guess I just read it and just, yeah, sure, whatever.
Like you do everything.
Yeah, I think pretty sure, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I guess I just move on to the next topic here about the new Grassroots partner.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the lead on that one, Pat? Or
not really, because I could care less, but. So yeah, SWAT Grassroots, SWAT Nation, I should say, has been accepted in the Grassroots. Literally just a few hours before we went live on the podcast. Obviously, they're huge in the scene of Halo. Like I said, I don't really care about Grassroots or any of that stuff. I'm not like I'm trying to get more into it as far as the pro scene and things like that. finally, I just watched the Anaheim tournament, which was like the first tournament I've watched since Halo 4 when Pistola won. So it's been a while for me. So slowly getting back into it. But I mean, I guess Kevin, what do you think? You're the one that's really into the esports scene and the Grassroots program and all the creators there and stuff. So obviously it's a big deal because SWAT Nation, obviously, even I know SWAT Nation is. So it is definitely a big deal. So what do you think about it?
I think it was kind of, I felt like this team was kind of can I even do words right now? Jesus Christ. I think it was really just kind of a matter of time until this team was added to the Grassroots partnership kind of thing. So they were kind of more on the side of obviously like throwing on events and kind of being organizers, not necessarily content creators, which usually we do see partners for tournament organizers kind of added on first. And then like a few weeks later, we get individual partners for content creators. So us, like next week, we announced,
Maybe, possibly, probably not for me.
Yeah, they did say that they're looking to kind of redo a little bit of
they're
the
changing it up.
Grassroots content side. Yeah. Though this sounds pretty similar to what they've done in the past, but we'll see what they do with the content creation side of things because there's just so many great content creators out there in the community that like to try to pick and choose which ones to add in feels a bit unfair. It's unfair to 343 to have to choose, and it's unfair to the content creators there's too many of them as right now to like not have in. But I think it's pretty cool. So many guys a part of the SWAT Nation community you might even recognize. We have it's Prof right there. He does a lot of Twitch streams as well. The SWAT god himself, Nap Times, involved with this. Like, if you guys haven't seen Nap Times streaming SWAT on Halo 5, the guy is absurd. It's when I say he's a SWAT god, like he is the SWAT god. I think I remember seeing Menke mention a statistic when people like usually with like a high tier SWAT game, there's about 15 to 20% quit rate. Playing against Nap Times, it's like a 60% quit rate. It's kind of absurd. So it's kind of funny. I've seen like you got Nafburger. I've seen a bunch of chats. Veronica was another streamer. We've got a bunch of other people here also. Like all their Twitches and stuff linked on their Twitch page as well. Pretty good. And so a few of these people I recognize in the community from just either Twitter or just in chats or just streaming themselves and stuff like that. So pretty cool to see this team to get recognized and added into the Grassroots program. And like I said, I felt like it's kind of an inevitable thing that for that to happen. I think it's pretty awesome because it's cool to have such a niche community. Like they're focusing so much on SWAT, but like so many people love SWAT, right? And be able to, they're like the only people I've ever seen like throw on tournaments for that game mode.
Yeah, they're always throwing tournaments. Like
it's never like an additional mode added on for like all these competitive events. So pretty cool. I think they actually have an event kind of lined up right now. Some kind of or I'm thinking of GT Halo, I think actually. Which GT Halo is actually putting something together this weekend, right? Because you tagged me in a tweet about it.
What did I tag you in?
You tagged me in a tweet about like they're like looking for content creators during town time to talk with, like Grand GT Halo, Grand Toronto Halo. Yeah. So they got
I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, they were looking for content creators to feature in some sort of streaming highlight.
I think because they're doing like a 2v2 kind of Halo 5 tournament kind of thing going on over there. Definitely, guys, check it out if you can. Obviously, but yeah, so I think it's pretty awesome. Obviously, we'll keep you guys up to date with any other kind of Grassroots editions because it's kind of a cool thing to see that happen with members of the community get recognized by the developers themselves. But yeah, anyway, so I guess I gotta move on to our more discussionary topic. What makes Halo Halo? There was recently a video posted by Installation 00, who's like a Halo lore channel, and he had a bunch of other content creators on. Obviously, most of these guys focus on the lore kind of content creators like Halo Canon, Hidden Xperia,
the
Spearhead. The Spearhead, I think Token, I think his name is, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
There's a few guys I actually didn't even know, and there's like Covenant Canon in there as well. And they just kind of talked about like what makes this universe of Halo, this franchise, something that they kind of have a personal connection with. And so we're kind of, so then was it Podtacular reached out to all the other podcasts out there. It's like, hey, should we do something similar with all the podcast people? We're like, hell yeah, we should.
Yeah.
And so they wanted us to kind of throw in our little tidbits when it comes to our thoughts of what makes Halo for you in particular. So actually, how about Pat? You take this one away because I could probably talk too much about this.
Oh, you're gonna have to have your chance eventually, Kevin. So be ready. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few things for me that makes Halo Halo. I think the number one thing for me personally, and this kind of harkens back to, I mean, it even started with Halo 3, but even before that, before Forge was even a thing, just a complete package was always the thing for me for Halo. Halo always had a great campaign that was replayable, always had great multiplayer to enjoy with friends. And then it only got, subsequently larger with Halo 3 when Forge came out and all, just basically blew it up as far as custom games and things like that. That was the biggest thing for me was, just a complete package kind of. Gosh, Jimbo, why you got to say that? Complete package. But, something that kind of, I feel has lost its way with the last couple of Halos, especially Halo 4, which brings me to my next point, which would be, as far as a multiplayer side, I always felt Even Starts, was always one of my favorite things about Halo. It comes down to me versus you, who's got the better weapon, or who's better with that same weapon, or if I fought for a power weapon on the map, then I deserve it. Not spawning in with whatever gun you want and, being comfortable with that. You had to learn the weapons. You had to learn the spawns of other weapons. You have to have teamwork. You have to have, positioning on maps, map control. And it's very different from many other shooters. Like Call of Duty, obviously, is a more Twitch-based shooter. And I think that's why I fell in love with Halo so much is I tend to lean towards more higher time to kill games because it really shows skill. I mean, of course Call of Duty players are skillful still, but with Halo it's like you could be shooting me in the back, I could turn around and still win that battle if I'm the better player. And just that appeal of Halo always it just always called to me. And it's like I said, lost its kind of way with Halo 4, obviously with the loadouts and calling in ordnance drops and all that stuff. And I was really happy with Halo 5 that we went back to Even Starts. Sprint and all that crap. I don't care about advanced mobility. I don't care about classic movement. I could go either way. Go either way with those. Doesn't matter to me. Because I really love Halo 5, but I really love Halo 2. So, it's that. I think that's what needs to be nailed down is first and foremost a complete package. Something Halo 5 wasn't on launch either. Halo 5 had great support post launch, and I really hope that continues with Infinite. But at the same time, we need a complete package at launch, including, your campaign, your Forge, your custom browsers, your theater mode working properly, which still does not work properly to this day in Halo 5, and a great campaign with not a convoluted story with a bunch of characters. And, it needs to be a little bit simpler, but still tell a great story, have replayability, and all those things factor into what makes Halo Halo for me. So what about you?
That was a good answer there, Pat. Excellent answer. Kind of covered a little bit of everything you want in a concise way.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think because, for me, answering that question is just it's such a big question for me to reply with. It's like you get flooded with so many different things to think about in a reply because Halo is so many things. It's more than just like a video game, even to like you and me, especially. Yep. I think what initially drew me into the game was it being like a sci-fi setting. I've always enjoyed more sci-fi kind of things. Like I remember being as a kid, just absolutely being like obsessed with like Star Wars and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I kind of always like kind of leaned towards that kind of style of entertainment. And I think just like, especially, my first game was CE back in 2001. That launch year, and just like the spectacle that the game has, it's just like it's like awe. It was awe-inspiring,
awe-inspiring, yes.
Awe-inspiring, yes. And and just like the world that is created within Halo, is so unique yet familiar that so it's easy to kind of grab onto and understand. And the way Halo is like it's such an easy franchise to get into, but if you want to dig deeper and get more into it, there's that depth, there's huge depth to it. Even when back in 2001 when the game released, like there was so much more behind Halo than just like it being a shooter, evil aliens blow them up. There's so much more to it than just that. If you wanted to like look into the books and stuff like that, but yeah, I just love like the campaign experience. The enemy types were like fresh, unique, even though it's still like kill all aliens like we've done a million times in video games and entertainment. But it was just felt like in a unique way. And with the whole like forerunner aspect to it, this old ancient mystery that we just don't understand and don't know adds a level of mystery to the whole aspect of the whole thing. So there's something makes it feel like there's something bigger and grander than just you, where almost every game tries to make you feel like you're bigger and grander than everything else around you. So even though you're like a super badass soldier, there's still like so much bigger things to worry about. And so I think that's such a cool aspect when it comes to like the storytelling of Halo. Obviously, and also when it comes to like multiplayer side of things, it can be enjoyed at a fun, casual level, and it can also be enjoyed at a super competitive, sweaty, try-hard level. And then you can just like that's a nice gradient up to that point as well when it comes to difficulty. Like you said, mentioned about the even starts. I think it's super crucial when it comes to Halo because it just makes it so then your knowledge of the game is super important. Your ability to shoot and move throughout the map. It's more than just being like who can see who first, kind of stuff. And you can outplay people with certain kind of positioning, just utilize things to your advantage. Like the way you can traverse maps is so different than like any other game, like doing like crouch jumping, taking different kinds of height advantage and stuff like that. The weapon types are just super cool. I mean, who doesn't love a gigantic rocket launcher you can put on your shoulder and just blow people up? I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But then you're able to grab that because you understand when those rockets are timed. You can pick them up and use that to your advantage. So it's almost like people said, like a game of chess where you utilize your knowledge of the game to do better. So you don't necessarily have to be the craziest best shot at the game to do well. Yeah. Like in Halo Reach back in 2010, like when I started to learn how to get decent at Halo, that like I had like a 2+ KD, but it's because I knew how to time rockets basically and knew where the weapon spawns were and stuff. And so you don't have to be like a god at the game to be able to have fun and do well at it, which I think is really cool. But then you also can be a god and do really well and like rank up and get sweaty in the competitive modes and stuff like that. And so, and you mentioned also like about theater, Forge, the creative side of things. I spent so much time in Halo 3 Forge, absurd amount of time. Just because I like being the creative side of things, I think is so cool. But like I said, Halo to me is the total package of a first-person shooter. Amazing campaign, great multiplayer, creative outlets for people to share and do their own things with. No game does it, at least at the scale of Halo, or does it this well. So I think it's awesome. That's why I keep coming back and so passionate about it. And then also just the community itself. Like everybody I've met within the Halo community is pretty freaking awesome. They're super inviting, super nice people. I mean, like I said, I met you through YouTube. You contacted me like, "Hey, I'm Baby Pig. Can you make a podcast?" And like I've been able to I've flown to different parts of the U.S. to just hang out with Halo friends. Never done that with any other game. So
I think you made a. No, go ahead. Sorry, finish your.
No, so like I don't honestly like this might sound bad, but I probably wouldn't be playing Halo as much if it was a community. I probably would just, or making YouTube videos and streaming, I would probably just like pick up Halo, play it for a little bit, and then play whatever the new cool thing is, and just play mostly like whatever RPG was out at the time or something, So just freaking love Halo, man, everything around it.
Yeah. And I kind of really like feel the same way. But you mentioned sci-fi. I love sci-fi as well, and I really do think Star Wars are a really apt comparison for Halo. I think Halo is the Star Wars of video games because, Star Wars started in one medium like movies and then grew into other mediums, video games, grew into TV shows, grew into comic books, grew into novels. It was so much more than just the movie. A couple of failed movies, but still, it's still an iconic franchise, and it was bigger than anything. And Halo at one point was bigger than anything in the video game. We haven't seen anything like Halo. When Halo blew up, the only thing that you could compare it to nowadays was like Fortnite. Fortnite is just everywhere. It blew up. And Halo was like that, and it was on one system only. And I think that's just so much more impressive. You know, it's not on toasters. It's not on iPads. It's not on, you know, your refrigerator like Fortnite. You know, Fortnite's everywhere. And Halo was on one system, and it single-handedly launched a brand new system that was dominated by PlayStation and Nintendo. Like, nobody even thought Xbox would be a thing after they're like, dude, Microsoft's, this is corporate suicide right here. Like, there's no way that could be successful in this kind of business. And all they needed was a killer app, and Halo was it. And it single-handedly launched Xbox Live as well, and multiplayer gaming as we know it. Not only did Halo 1 change the game, Halo 2 changed the game as well. And then Halo 3 just perfected the formula and was the absolute pinnacle of the series. And just like you said, growing up, that's just, I love sci-fi, dude. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars, Doctor Who, all that stuff is just like, I always was fascinated by space. Go ahead. That was the segue to get your sonic screwdriver out and just, he's got it right there on him. But there it is. And, you know, I was always fascinated with like aliens and stuff growing up too, and like I said, outer space, and was always fascinated by the stars and stuff like that. I wanted to be an astronaut growing up, was never smart enough to actually be one. So you know, it will always hold a special place in my heart because Halo really Zelda got me into gaming, but Halo kept me gaming and has kept me gaming all these years later. And got me really into the multiplayer scene, and I will always be thankful for it, and I still enjoy it to this day, despite some of the Bungie people, you know, hating the new Halos. I actually really enjoy the new Halos. I don't think Halo 4, like I said, was a great Halo game. I still thought it was a good game, though. I still played it a lot, but it kind of lost its way of what made Halo Halo. And then Halo 5, like I said, freaking just max ranked it, dude. It's a great multiplayer game. Kind of disappointed by campaign, but have a really good feeling about Infinite, man. I really think it's going to bring us back to that complete package Halo. And there's a bunch of content creators just waiting and thirsting to get their hands on a new Halo and help the longevity of the game. Because obviously content creation is a huge part of it now as far as longevity of a game and really, you know, game support. So it goes hand in hand with development. So I'm really excited to see what Infinite brings, and I'm very optimistic about where we'll be talking about Halo in the next year or two.
It's kind of crazy how like content creation has been like a serious, like a legit part of what a game needs nowadays, you know? Like so many of these streamers and YouTubers are like gaming celebrities. Like you would see like sports celebrities on the Wheaties box. You see Dr. Disrespect with his own brand of G Fuel, you know? You know,
I mean, launched like they announce games through streamers now. Like Apex did it. Warzone was like basically launched with streamers, you know, announcing it. Like it's part of a market. It's free marketing for, you know, for developers and publishers, you know, like they've realized it, but it's also not only marketing, it's development too. Like look at what we're doing with 343 right now, flighting, and taking feedback and making videos on what we like, what we don't like, and talking with developers about what we like and don't like. Look what happened, even if we don't even want to talk about the games. When I went to Halo Outpost and we had John Friend and Jeff Easterling on, and I told them how I felt about it. Very next Outpost Discovery, very clearly they changed a lot of things that people were talking about, you know, that were disappointed with certain things. So it's not only games, you know, either. It's everything about the medium, everything about Halo. You know, they're working with people, working with the fans to create something special. So. You know, I think, like I said, and even look at MCCs, look at the debacle that MCC was at launch, and look at it now and how much support it's getting. I honestly never thought they'd go back to that game. I thought they would just let it, you know, all right, dude, that's it. We tried to fix it, and it's about as good as it's going to get. And no, they didn't do that. They kept working on it. So
I just picture like just picture like 2018, you know, like those scenes like in like zombie movies when like they're like, all right, everything is done, and
Yeah.
they pan down to like the ground, and then just like August 2018, MCC.
Yeah. Yeah. Revival.
That's pretty much what it was too.
Yeah.
That was
It is.
yeah. I guarantee the people who are making MCC involved with that development didn't think it would be on PC or get the love that it's getting right now.
Nope.
You know, being upgraded to 4K resolutions and stuff like that.
Yep.
And
Adding more games to it, like it's insane.
yeah.
It's a big undertaking. It was we've never seen anything like that in the history of gaming. Like any kind of ambitious project like that with all those different engines all packed onto one disc into one game. Being able to switch between old and new graphics. It was a huge undertaking. I still can't believe that it was even a thing. And I was kind of foolish to think I was kind of foolish to think that it would work fine. I was like, man, of course, there's no way they would put it out if it wasn't, good. But still thinking about it, there is no other game like that has all those games on one disc with all those different engines, remasters, and with multiplayer, with every single map ever created for the series. Like that's insane. We get singular games that are like, all right, here, COD 4 remaster. There you go. Modern Warfare 2 remastered campaign. So it was so ambitious, and that's what Halo's always been, is ambitious, and they really need to harken back on that idea and go forward with it. But
I think
was
that's
a very
one
good
thing a lot of
question.
people. I think that's one thing people miss in a lot is that Halo used to really kind of innovate in the shooter genre of what can be accomplished in that style of game. Obviously, we've had nearly 20 years of development on Halo, so you can only perfect the circle so many times, right?
Right.
But still, pretty awesome stuff. Like, still, I think they can always, as long as they're always pushing Forge, there's always something new to create with the game.
Yeah.
Because no other franchise is bothering with something like that.
Right.
Because
I mean, like, look at Mario, look at Zelda. They've been around. Mario's on its 35th anniversary. Zelda's right at like around 30 years. Those franchises don't really change much from game to game. They just put out really solid games that people love. Halo could be around for another 20 years if done right, and I would be happy to be old man Pitt playing some Halo 17 when, the time comes. It has the potential to be, something like a Mario or a Zelda, something that Microsoft can continuously put out every few years, like Mario, like Zelda, 3, 4, 5 years development, not every year. So it gets, saturated and, put out a quality product that people will love. People will always come back if you put out a good product. So we'll see.
A lot of people, not a lot of notable people in gaming community, just as a whole, got their start on Halo. You can tell a few people out there are kind of craving a Halo game as well.
Oh yeah.
Because
people who've left the series we're very interested in Infinite, there's a lot of big time people who are interested in coming back for Infinite, or, you have people like Dr. Disrespect, like JC Backfire. He's a really big Halo fan, and, he's been known for more Call of Duty stuff. Even people like More Counsel, he does Destiny stuff, but he's a big Halo fan too. You can see the excitement within,
so
other
Jack
aspects of
Frags
gaming.
made a few
Jack
MCC
Frags,
videos as well.
Yeah.
I think also like Level Cap Gaming. I don't know if you know him. He has like 2 million subs.
He's a big
Battlefield
Battlefield streamer.
I've been following him stuff for years now because I used to be a Battlefield boy back in 2012 until like 2014. Yeah, and so then I used to watch this stuff all the time. But yeah. Ghost says though, one thing that I think Halo needs is co-op controls. Which you guys know,
what?
You ever play co-op?
No.
So basically you try to control like this person. The goal of the game is just to make this person walk. But you have to use the Q, W, O, and P keys to try to like balance this person walking. And it's just like the most ridiculously, terribly controlled game. But that's part of the fun. Is like it's such bad controls. But I just told him that's kind of what CE feels like, pretty much.
Damn.
Shots fired. But yeah, that's all I need really. Infinite just needs co-op controls and we're good.
Controls.
But yeah, I think we kind of went a pretty good discussion about that. I think we can probably hop over to the playlist updates and round out the show here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you want to lead off on the updates here, Pete?
Yeah, so MCC got a playlist update last week, adding SWAT to all games in MCC, including, I believe this is for the first time, right? Halo CE never had SWAT, did it?
Nope, never did.
So first time in the history of CE, you could get one tapped with the Magnum. So
just how it feels in multiplayer, regular multiplayer.
Basically, I mean, you're just done. So that's pretty cool, honestly. That people get to experience SWAT and CE, and that took the place of, I can't remember what the playlist was before that. Fiesta, yeah, Fiesta. And Halo 5, you still have Mythic Arena for ranked. That is still up there, and I don't recall. I remember Warzone Turbo was coming. I know the what's it called? Yeah, Hardcore Super Fiesta coming, which we talked with Blaze about. Which he actually had I guess he was the one who made that, right? He said he made that playlist, Hardcore Super Fiesta, and he was like, "Oh crap, I didn't know they were bringing it back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he said he made it or definitely involved.
He was definitely involved with it in some way, yeah, as being part of the Sustain team. So that's pretty cool. And then Covenant Slayer is rotating in for core play, which was also active for your double XP. But everything is double XP on Halo 5 and MCC right now. Like we talked about before. I'm just glad that my watch has ended as a knight of what were they called in Game of Thrones?
Night's Watch.
The Night's Watch. Yeah, my watch has ended. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking something about the wall. Like they had some. I mean, I know they watched on the wall, but I didn't know if that was part of their name. So done with Halo 5. Onto the MCC grind. I go first up is 100% achievements, and then we're gonna go for 100% on the battle pass. Which
I still find it hilarious that Hardcore Super Fiesta is releasing on April 1st.
On April Fools,
yeah. Like perfectly timed for that.
Yeah.
They probably saw that and they're like, "Oh, we know the place. We gotta head in for this."
No, they should have. What they should have done, Battle Royale, April 1st. Dude, that would have been so funny.
Games. That would Battle Royale custom games.
Can I just say something about that real quick, because I get a lot of comments about like on my video, because and this is actually a good segue into, we could talk real quick about Moses FPS, talking about the BR thing. As you guys know, I've made several videos on it. I've talked about it a lot. I've wanted a Halo BR for a while, and BR being Battle Royale. So I really think that people who tell me, oh, well, there's custom games on it, they really don't get the point of a Battle Royale. Battle Royale isn't supposed to play like regular Halo. So much would have to be altered from a development standpoint that we just simply can't do with any kind of Forge right now and stuff. Like, I get that all the time. Like, dude, you're going to play Battle Royale on Halo right now, so stop asking for the developers to do it. Just go play it in custom games. I'm like, dude, that is not the experience that I want for a BR. I don't want hit scan. I don't want hit scan. I don't want just spawning in or things like that, and the looting, and it's just not the same kind of experience. And I would like it built from the ground up. But
yeah,
that is
absolutely.
just my opinion.
I guess since you brought up the Moses tweet, I'll show it up here. It's kind of basically just shows the Twitch engagement once Call of Duty added in their Warzone game mode, which is really fun. Pat and I've been playing it a bunch.
Yeah.
And basically Moses goes in and says, I don't care who gets mad at me for saying this. Halo Infinite launching without BR is 100% a mistake. We should have taken advantage of the most popular FPS mode on the planet. Every major gaming influencer is literally begging for a Halo BR. It would have been huge. It basically kind of shows Twitch viewer engagement. This is pre-Warzone, as you can see, and then Warzone, the second half, basically, about people watching people play Call of Duty because of the Warzone game mode coming in free for everyone to watch. Like, I remember even seeing some times where I was like, damn, MCC is actually not that far behind Call of Duty right now in viewership on Twitch. Now, I think they may have had 20, and at the time, I think MCC might have had like 5,000 or something like that. When like Reach came out, then I was like, yeah, man, we can hang with the big boys.
Yeah.
And then they just drop a BR on us, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's how many people actually want to play Call of Duty. Just not the shitty skill-based matchmaking, terrible map version of Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that kind of brings me back to my point I was kind of mentioning before about, I kind of stated before about Halo BR, is that no matter what game mode 343 decides to make for Halo Infinite, will not generate as much buzz as a battle royale. It just won't.
Yep.
Like it could be even better. It could be like League of Legends, but with Halo, and like people would love it.
That's Warzone, bro. It's basically
yeah,
a MOBA.
Didn't play like that.
Yeah, they had MOBA ideas.
Yeah, which could have been sick if it was like fully implemented, or like implemented differently, I should say.
Right.
But it could be like the newest, greatest mode that they could possibly make for Halo, and it could be perfect, play amazing. It still won't generate as much buzz as a BR.
No,
because that's the new hotness right now. And I think they should make a BR with Infinite. I know a lot of people, like you mentioned about people just given the ability to make it in custom games. And like, you can't. It'd be tough to make a game at that scale that you would need,
right,
for Infinite in Forge. I could see it just hard to. You need like developer level detail to make a BR in Halo work well. Plus, just you got to figure out some kind.
Give us a BR in the summer, dude. Just it doesn't even have to be 343 to do it. Microsoft has plenty of freaking money. Throw money at a studio of the 30 studios that Microsoft now owns after buying everybody, and just tell them, freaking make a sick battle royale standalone right now. And
they're basically like the Yankees right now, just buying all the talent out there.
Yeah, the empire, the evil empire. Just do it, dude. Like it would be huge. Imagine if a Halo BR released right now during this pandemic with everybody home, and how much freaking buzz that would generate. Oh my god.
I mean, with Slipspace, they say they're supposed to be much easier to make content. It's going to be a game as a service. Halo Infinite's going to be viewed as a platform for Halo. I mean, I would never, even if the game releases without BR, I would still say it's not out of the question.
No,
for
it's
it to
not.
Happen.
And we'll see. I mean, I don't see BR going anywhere anytime soon. Even though people claim to be sick of it, I think Warzone, Apex, each subsequent Battle Royale release improves on the formula and blows up. So
there's still more to be said about
there's still plenty more to be said. There's innovation to be had, which Halo could be a big pioneer of. And then on top of that, it's what other, like you said, there would be nothing else that could be bigger than a BR. Think about it, because BR is literally a game mode, but we see it released as a standalone game for almost everything, except for Blackout. Blackout was, added on to Call of Duty, but took place a campaign, added on to Black Ops 4. PUBG was its own game. It's one mode, and it's got the legs to be its own game. Warzone, its own game. Apex Legends, its own game. That is no other game. You can't just release a game of Slayer or Team Deathmatch and have it be the only thing and be successful. It's just, you can't do it, It's huge.
I always thought it'd be a cool thing to add in AI into a BR game. Like Halo's AI is fantastic. It'd be cool if you like take out like a squad, finding an elite ultra or whatever, guarded by grunts and jackals and stuff like that. You take out that little pack of AI characters, drop some awesome loot for you.
Get some loot, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be Warzone 2.0, could be a BR, just take some of the things you have from Warzone, apply it to a BR. I mean, that could definitely work.
The sandbox is there. The sandbox is there already.
The best sandbox in gaming.
And just make a map and maybe some new interesting mechanic, like how Call of Duty did with like the currency system.
Yeah.
Something like that, but make it like I said, add an AI to a BR. No popular BR that comes to my mind at the moment. I know I've seen AI BR like games, but for Halo, that'd be like the one I think would really stand out for something like that. Yeah. It hasn't really been perfected, which I think Halo could do. But yeah, BR, again, the topic of Halo.
Yes. Love that topic.
But yeah.
Hey, Postum said he wants it too. I mean, there's people at 343 that do want it.
He's a PUBG player.
Yeah. Yeah, he's mentioned ODST, battle royale mods for MCC for a while, asking the community to make it. So
yeah, that'd be awesome. Of course, I wouldn't be able to play because we're on the Windows version.
I'd buy the Steam version instantly for that, just to save myself the trouble. Exactly. But for now, I'm fine. So I'm fine with I'm fine with the Game Pass version for now.
But yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps up everything on the podcast today.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast. Really appreciate it. You can always check us out on Podbean and Spotify while listening on the podcast without having to waste your phone battery, having the YouTube video open up. Link in the description down below, guys. Pat, where can people find your content on the internet?
Well, you can find me at the Patman Gaming on Twitter. Go to www.thepatmangaming.com. We'll have all my links on my Twitter, Instagram, Discord, YouTube. All that is linked. My streams on Twitch. But just type in Patman Gaming. At this point, I should be pretty up there on the search results on Google. So type me in. You'll find me somewhere, some way. And if you find an imposter, then I'm sorry. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for the support recently. It's been amazing as usual, seeing steady growth. So really excited to see where the channel goes in the next few months. And it's exciting times, exciting times. Where can people find you though, Mr. Kevin?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at KevinKoolx Halo. Go to youtube.com/user/KevinKoolx, Instagram KevinKoolx, Facebook KevinKoolx. Again, like all our social links will be in the description down below, guys, on Podbean and on YouTube as well. And I believe you can also find the links on the description for Spotify, but I don't think they're usable. But you can probably copy and pasta.
Yeah.
If you want to do it that way. But yeah, you can always check us out there, guys. Really do appreciate everyone coming by in the stream right now. Appreciate you coming in and listening, watching, supporting the podcast, supporting the Halo community. Giving us giving our little corner of the internet a little attention, and we always appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
And so until next week, hopefully we'll be talking about some Halo 2 anniversary flighting experience, how the game plays out.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
yeah,
or at least we'll
got a good feeling.
If it's, or at least if everything's broken.
Could be. Could very well be.
So yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for supporting the podcast, and we'll catch you all in the next episode next week. Peace out.